What is your least favorite paradox form? For me, it is Sandy Shocks, and that is what we are going to be talking about today. Hey guys, John Jr. here. I'm bringing you guys another Pokemon competitive analysis. Today, we are going to be talking about Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is an electric ground type, which up to this point was only a typing for Stunfisk, and Stunfisk actually had a lot of use, specifically in Draft League, as a low tier, kind of bulkier electric type that actually fared pretty well in certain matchups. It did really well against things like Tornadus, Therian, and Sandy Shocks takes a little bit better of an approach at that electric ground type than Stunfisk because it's a lot more offensive, a lot faster, and while it's not as defensive, it does provide some utility. The electric ground type is nice offensively because it's a ground type that can break through waters, which is really nice. The only thing is that grounds are going to kind of wall this forever. It doesn't really get coverage for that, so pretty much every single time you're going to have to mitigate that with Terra Blast if you do use this Pokemon in that fashion. As for stats, we have 85 HP, 81 attack, 97 defense, 121 special attack, 85 special defense, and 101 speed. Overall, not a bad Pokemon. Statistically, it's pretty well balanced. It's fast enough to outspeed the base 100s, which is super nice, and it hits hard enough with the base 120. And its defenses, while lackluster, aren't horrible. They're all below 100, but they're close enough to where, yes, this Pokemon will definitely take a random hit that you probably wouldn't expect it to. As for notable moves that this Pokemon gets, there's not that many to talk about. The first set of moves is going to be Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Stealth Rock, and Spikes. Volt Switch for momentum. It's very nice that this Pokemon has momentum, how fast it is and how strong it is. That's going to be really nice. Thunderbolt to break through those waters and have some nice stab, and has both forms of priority, so it's a very good utility Pokemon in that sense. As for other moves, it's kind of hard to choose another four to talk about. We obviously have Earth Power, which is the other side of the stab. We have Thunder Wave, which is going to be nice to spread paralysis and have some sort of speed control. We have Tri Attack, which is its best neutral hitting move on things like ground types. It's going to be the strongest way you can hit those and not have to recharge. I think it might get Hyper Beam as well. And then we have Light Screen Reflect, both of which to obviously help facilitate other Pokemon. As for movesets, I actually do have 6 Sandy Shocks here for you guys. The first one is going to be by far the most common one. We're going to have Choice Specs. It already hits kind of hard. It's the similar thought process to Iron Jugulus. It hits hard enough. Why not make it hit a little bit harder? It has momentum. Super nice in that aspect. If your opponent does not have a ground type, then this is going to be a very good Pokemon in that matchup. We have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Earth Power, and Spikes. You could replace Spikes with Stealth Rock. You could replace it with a Screen. Basically, you just have dual stabs here, and then Volt Switch needed for momentum, obviously, and that last slot can really fill whatever your heart desires. The next one, we're going to have Booster Energy Speed. As you can see on the screen, you have to be 208 special attack maximum in order to get that speed boost if you are max speed timid. And here we're just 4 attacks: Thunderbolt, Earth Power, Tri Attack, and Terra Blast. We are Terra Grass. That's going to allow us to not only resist those ground moves, but also be able to break through those ground types. And then there's not really a Pokemon, I think, to my knowledge, that can resist all 3 of your stabs. And then Tri Attack, just in case. There's not really a great 4th move there. You could put Stealth Rock, you could put Spikes, again, a Screen, whatever you feel. The next set's going to be similar. It's just going to be an AV set. We have Charge Beam, Volt Switch, Earth Power, and Terra Blast. We are once again Terra Grass. You can obviously switch this around. You could also be Terra Water. I prefer Terra Grass because you resist that ground, those ground types, excuse me. And then Charge Beam to potentially get a special attack boost. This Pokemon is fast enough to where once you get to a certain point in the game, this Pokemon can outspeed your opponent's entire team, and if you get that special attack boost, you can kind of wipe through some stuff. This next set's going to be kind of cool. You're probably not going to see it ran a whole lot. We are Sub, Iron Defense, Body Press, and Discharge. Discharge to potentially spread pairs, as well as hit maybe Ghost that will wall you otherwise. It doesn't have the worst defense stats, so Sub, Iron Defense, Body Press is going to come in handy and probably catch some people off guard. It's going to allow you to potentially break through those ground types that otherwise you would never be able to break through unless you were Terra Grass. And then obviously you have to be leftovers on this for reliable recovery in some fashion. Next is a facilitator for other Pokemon actually, and I do not dislike this Sandy Shocks by any means. We have Light Clay with Reflect and Light Screen with Volt Switch and Earth Power. Just dual stabs, you have momentum, get your screens up, get a Volt Switch out, and then you have your screens up for 7 turns. It's actually not the worst screen setter in the world. You get those screens up pretty reliably. It's pretty fast. You're going to get one up, probably live a hit with your decent bulk, especially if you are max HP. And if you're in draft, you can kind of tailor it to take whatever hit you want it to take. That way it can even get both screens up before it dies. And maybe they switch out, you get both screens up, and then you get some momentum with Volt Switch. And then lastly, we're going to be a 3 attacks Metal Sound set. This unfortunately does not have anything like Nasty Plot, like Calm Mind, so you are going to have to use debuffs rather than buffs to take advantage of this Pokemon special attack stat. And here we're going to use Metal Sound to shoot into what you may expect to be their ground type switching in on this Pokemon. They have -2 special defense. You're going to pick up a KO in some fashion. We are going to be Terra type grass, but once again, don't have to explain it again, and we're Life Orb to do as much damage as possible. While I do not love Sandy Shocks, it is a lot more versatile than I thought it would be, and I can confidently say that if this Pokemon's like 11 points, 12 points, maybe, I can definitely see this being a very valuable pickup. But let me know what you guys think down below. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Only about 10% of you guys are subscribed, and it would mean the world and really help me out if you did hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed, I'm going to be having Iron Thorns up on Thursday, and that is going to be the last of the Paradox Pokemon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for now guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.